Hello, everybody. Today's Monday, July 18th. I'm the Curriculum Committee Chair. I start the Curriculum Committee meeting. Today it's 5:34. First item on the agenda, 2.1, presentation by Ray Saldaña, Director of Student Services of the Student Code of Conduct and the Student Handbook for the 2022-23 school year. Ray?
Good evening, Mr. Medrano's board members, Interim Superintendent, Ms. Servillon, and Mr. Moreno. Yeah, I think he was on camera, right? Was he on camera right now or no?
It should be.
Okay. But either way, basically what you have in front of you is a copy of the Student Code of Conduct and the handbook. There are no changes. It is not up for approval. It's just for informative purposes. Next year is the legislative year, so that's when we will approve the Student Code of Conduct. But right now, what you have in front of you is the same as last year.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
On page number 5, are you in contact with the police chief about the code of conduct, or?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, every campus gets it.
And the parents, and the
Email,
parents.
yes,
Okay.
it's on the website. Yes, sir. And there's forms that they need to fill out that the campuses pass out as well.
And on the dress code on page 9, are we all, I know the elementary school do dress codes. I wish we all had a dress code, but are the parents aware of the dress code at the high school and the middle schools?
The way it's done in the past, and I
Okay.
even see it right now, if you go to our social media, the
Okay.
campuses are in charge of sending out their particular dress code. They do it in the summer. It's one of the expectations from the campus principal. And so I've been checking Facebook, and I think most of them
I
have already done
appreciate
it.
that, because we had problems with the
Yes,
dress
sir.
code in the past,
It is
so.
just something that it always surfaces.
Okay.
But I think we do a pretty good job as administrative staff from central office down to the campuses trying to get that message out, what is expected out there.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Medrano, Mr. Saldaña.
Yes, sir.
On the dress code, I had some concerns from some parents that have 3 or 4 children in our district, and financially, they're having problems buying uniforms. Is there something we can do to?
Well, I know in the past, I believe, Mr. Gonzalez, is he here? Mr. Gonzalez, I know that, you want to come up and say something on that, Luis? If I may?
Sure,
Wanna Let him
no
answer,
problem.
sir? Thank you, sir.
Good evening, everybody.
Hello.
Yes, we look at students who are in need of school supplies, school.
Uniforms.
Uniforms. What we do first is we analyze to see, and we assess them to see if they meet the McKinney-Vento Homeless Act. And if that's the first step, or they do meet that, then we have funds that are set aside specifically for those students.
Great.
But if there's other students that have the need and they demonstrate that they have no other means to obtain school uniforms, we do have our 199, our local accounts that we tap into. We also have some donations that come in throughout the year that we earmark specifically for students in need, whether it be supplies, uniforms. So there is some funds available for students. We just want to make sure that they are in need and that there is funds available.
Do they go through their campuses where they attend?
Usually what happens is they reach out either to my staff member at the local campus, which are the parent specialists, and or the principal or someone from the administration contacts me to let me know these are the students that need shoes, they need clothing, they need something for them. So we find the means, or we find the ways in order to fund those.
Another concern that was out there, that was brought up to my attention was that they were to buy 1 or 2 sets, and then by the time they want to go back and buy some more, they can find them. What happens there?
Usually what we do is we try to, we send the vendor, we send the vendors, the local vendor, t-shirt vendors, we send them the list of, especially the elementary levels.
Yes.
Because each elementary is a little bit different when they look at grade levels, because they choose a different color. So what we do is we try to work locally with our vendors. Right. Usually our t-shirt vendors here will do everything possible to make sure that we do get those colors provided to them. But we also look to see what other means there are, whether it's Walmart, JCPenney, some local vendor that we can see if they have those colors.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
Speaking of school supplies, I want to congratulate Ms. Servillon and the entire school district for providing school supplies for all our kids. So congratulations for the school district.
Yes, that's going to be, our department has been instrumental in that for a number of years, and usually we get donations or we get some funding to do that. And yes, I do thank Mrs. Servillon for that, because it is an initiative for our students.
Yeah.
We get phone calls beginning in May, and we still get phone calls, especially now with that. So yes, that's going to be a big help. I still get phone calls on the backpacks.
Backpacks.
So at this time, we are allowing all backpacks. We don't have a clear set, either clear backpack or mesh, so we're allowing all backpacks to be provided to or be used by our students.
Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez, for what you do, and Mr. Saldana, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Anything else, Mr. Silva? Anything else,
Mr. Medrano,
Thank you.
Mr. Medrano,
Yes, sir.
I'd like to make a comment as well. I'm going to address this to Mr. Rayon on two things. With all the issues that have been going on, and it's still being televised, and with this Uvalde incident, this tragic, unfortunate incident at Uvalde, I know that our school district is taking great strides in providing making sure that our students are going to be provided a safe environment. I know that many parents start buying their school supplies and things for their children early on, but I think that, in my opinion, I think that safety. I think we all agree that safety is of utmost importance, and I'd like to see what the feasibility is of us recommending the clear and mesh backpacks, because I think right now, we say these type of incidents won't happen here, but that's the same thing that all these other cities and other locations say as well. It's not going to happen here, and look what happened. So number one is the feasibility of looking into the clear or mesh backpacks, and also going back to Mr. Silva's question in regard to uniforms. That happens, I'm sure, in different communities as well. And so just a suggestion, or I want to mention what I do on my campus. This was the first year that I was afforded the opportunity to have communities in schools, and my coordinator has been instrumental as our family and community engagement department in trying to get these uniforms for our students if need be. But one of the things that in the partnership with communities and schools and my family and community engagement department, what they did is they did a uniform drive and just advertised to the community if parents had wanted to donate uniform tops, especially, or even students that outgrow them and the clothing is still in good condition, donate them to the district, and we can also maybe even through the family and community engagement department issue those out if we have those needs.
Thank you, Mr. Moreno. Thank you.
Mr. Rion, if parents, because the supplies list were at Walmart, and I know that was an error on that part, but if parents bought the school supplies, is it okay for them to return them because they're going to get school supplies?
Yes, we've had that, I think, question asked already multiple times, and yes, they can return their supplies. We will be, those supplies will be furnished. We're using our ESSER funds for that. So every student will receive their supplies. Another thing that's important to note is we have all the principals here. We also work with the kids, with the parents, if the students haven't found a shirt or haven't found a uniform. So we're flexible. We give time, we give them time. And again, they can reach out to us if they have a financial need or a uniform need in any way, shape, or form. We can assist them with that as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I also want to give a comment on when it comes to the dress code. When it comes to us as school districts, we teach our kids, we guide them as to what they should do and what not to do, right? So that they can be successful. That's the end goal. And so I want to really stress at the high school level that wearing the appropriate clothing will prepare our kids with those soft skills that are needed, right? I talk to employers everywhere, and that's one of the things that they say. The kids, the new employees that they're getting don't have the soft skills that are needed, and so by you all enforcing dress codes and teaching them to dress appropriately, that's going to prepare our kids to have a more successful employee career. So thank you very much for taking care of that.
Thank you. Any more questions or concern on this item? Okay, agenda item. Item 2.2, review and discussion of the optional flexible school day program, OFSDP, application for Gateway to Graduation Academy for the 2022-23 school year.
Yes, at this point, I'm going to ask Mr. Hauser to come up and walk us through that. application for the 22-23 school year.
Good evening, Mr. Moreno, Board President, ladies and gentlemen of the Board, Mr. Servillon, Intern Superintendent. What we have here is the optional flexible school day program. It's basically an application that we put forward to TEA every year. What it allows us to do at the Gateway to Graduation Academy is we are taking attendance by minutes instead of how they standard do that for as far as the collection of ADA. Not all students, but a lot of the students that come to Gateway, you know, we're trying to prevent dropout, we're trying to prevent, you know, them falling further behind. Sometimes we need to be a little more flexible in our scheduling with them, and by utilizing this program, it allows us to do that. It allows us to get them in. We're still able to collect ADA. They're able to recover the credits they need to recover, but also if they have other responsibilities, parenting, things of this nature, we're also able to accommodate that. And it's basically every year we put this forward.
Any questions or concerns, guys? Thank you, sir. Appreciate
All
it.
right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Item 2.3, review and discussion. Item 2.3, review and discussion of the memorandum of understanding between San Benito Ciasd and Region 1 ESC Texas Reading Academies for the 2022-2023 school year.
Thank you, Mr. Medrano. I'm going to ask Mrs. Cornett to come forward.
By the way, item 2.2 is an agenda item.
Good evening, Board President, Mr. Moreno, board members, and Interim Superintendent, Ms. Cervellon. Yes, this year we're going to continue. This will be our third cohort for Reading Academies. Our target group this year is third grade, and also pending administrators and any new teachers. So the goal is we're going to go ahead and do local implementation. It worked really well for us last year. And so we're going to continue with that program this year and doing it here locally where we're able to monitor and provide support. We will be allowing teachers once, or all participants once a month. We will be bringing them together and they will be completing their Reading Academy modules, and we'll be supporting them through that process.
The fee is still the same, $10,000 to $12,000?
It's the flat, yes, that's
Okay.
the flat fee that we pay to go ahead and have our local cohort leader.
Okay. Any questions or concerns, board members?
I just have a concern on this. So these are done, the teachers are taken out of their campuses and it's done here?
Yes, we generally meet at one central location, whether it would be the high school library or VMA library. We bring them all together.
I just know that was a concern previously just because teachers were kind of having to do it, I get, not like during planning time and things like that. Is that still happening?
The first year, we did an implementation where we did an MOU with Region 1, and they were the leaders. And so it was kind of done where we had time assigned for them at the discretion of the campus. And so we found that that was a little difficult because we weren't able to monitor where our teachers were and be able to provide support for those that were struggling. So what we did last year is the local implementation. That means we have someone here in our district who's monitoring that and providing support, and when we bring them together, we're taking them out of the campuses to make sure that they're not getting pulled for other things.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, just because that planning time is so important to our teachers, we don't want to have to take away some of their planning time.
Absolutely.
Thank you for doing that.
Thank you, Ms.
Ms.
Cornett.
Cornett, how often are those teachers being pulled out for the Reading Academies?
It's once a month, sir. We pull them out once a month. We'll have a schedule that will be provided to administrators so they can go ahead and plan accordingly throughout the year.
And it's a full-day PD for those teachers?
Yes, sir, full day.
Okay, so those, and I was just concerned as well when Dr. Cruz mentioned planning period. If it's a full-day PD, then the teacher actually would have a substitute teacher in there while they're receiving their training for the Reading Academies, correct?
That is correct, sir.
All right, thank you.
Any more questions or concerns, board members?
So
Okay,
then really it doesn't take away from their planning time because it's a professional development day.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cornett. Agenda item. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 2.4, review and discussion for approval of the client services agreement between San Benito CISD and Certified Welding and Testing Company Incorporated, CWT, for welder qualification and certification.
So I will be presenting for Mr. Rosa in his absence. Basically, what we've done with this agreement is it just allows our instructor, Mr. Jorge Guerra, to go ahead and certify our students if they are able to perform those tasks. So he will be able to certify our welding students, and that is the addition to the application.
So once they do receive that certification from Mr. Guerra, there's not going to be any additional,
Microphone.
it's on? There wouldn't be any additional testing for them or anything like that? It's, once they get that certification, they're good?
They would get that certification, but if you recall, we've added additional certifications. We have a welding 1, 2, and
different
then it's
levels,
going to be
right?
3. So they would be up for additional certifications if they continue on that track.
Oh, okay. Great. Thank you.
So, Ms. Servillon,
Yes, ma'am.
on the certification, you're saying our teacher will do that? Are they working together with any colleges or technical programs to do this? Or is that something that he's strictly able to do?
He is able to do that. He's certified to do it.
That's great. Thank you.
Any other questions or concerns? Agenda item. Review, item 2.5, review and discussion of the Americorps Interlocal Cooperation Agreement between San Benito Ciasd and the University of Texas at the Rio Grande Valley, UTRGV, for the 2022-2023 school year.
Yes, at this point, I'm going to ask Mr. Galvan to go ahead and come up, and I think Mr. Salinas will be presenting that for us.
First of all, I want to thank all of you for all your support you give to us. Today, we had an in-service on documentation, and it was awesome. Everybody participated, and we're doing well. This is an program. I'm new at the high school, but it's an awesome program. It helps students. They bring in students. They recruit our students. They get them ready to plan their college career and all that. And at this point, Mr. Salinas is very, very knowledgeable on this, and I'm gonna let him take over on this. But it's free, and it's for our kids, and that's what we want. Mr. Salinas?
Thank you, Mr. Galvan. Good evening, board members. Just like Mr. Galvan mentioned, we're very fortunate to have this partnership with UTRGV. Every single year, they hire students. They train them in financial aid, train them in the Applied Texas College, applying to colleges, in scholarships, applying and registering for the SAT, ACT. So these students come to San Benito High School during the lunch hours, and they assist our students one-to-one. What better than somebody who is still a student versus somebody who's older, right? Our high school students feel more comfortable working with these younger students that are well-versed in these important topics. And every single year, we've had great rapport with them. And we usually get, I was telling Mr. Galvan, 3 to 4 students. They work about 20 hours a week. So we usually have them come during the lunch hour, which the Go Center just gets overcrowded. And Ms. Pina does a great job, but anytime we have extra assistance, and like Mr. Galvan said, free, it helps our students make sure that they are on track on graduating and having their applications, and more importantly, their financial aid applications ready to go.
How long does this take place? All year long, or?
Yes, sir.
All school year? Okay.
Yes, school for them starts August 22nd,
Okay.
so we'll have 2 weeks because we start August 8th. But when the UTRGV starts, then those mentors or Americorps will be able to come on board. We have a schedule with them. Some of them will come Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The other ones Thursday, Friday. So they'll be able to help during the lunch hours.
you.
More importantly, that's when it's peak time for our students to get assistance for
Thank you
August
so
College.
much. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Any other questions or concerns?
I have a question. First of all, thank you for everything you do. It's amazing how many kids have graduated with certification programs and college credits. You know, y'all are doing an amazing job. Thank you so much for doing that. When it comes to the Texas A&M engineering program, the tutors or the mentors that are coming to help our students, can you explain to parents out there that may be listening and maybe they don't know how their student can get this help, their child can get this help? Can you explain to them what they
Yeah.
need to do?
So pretty much anyone, all our students that go to the high school, and mainly our seniors, because they're the ones that are applying to colleges and financial aid. When parents feel like they don't know what to do or what the first steps, I always tell parents, do not worry. As long as your child goes to the college center, either in the morning or maybe during the lunch hours, they just have to attend or go to the college center. After that, these students, or even myself and Mrs. Pina, will assist them with the whole process. So parents that are out there that are not sure what to do with the college process, which I get it, it's overwhelming. They don't have to worry about that, Ms. Lopez. They just have to go to the College Center, trust on the staff there, and of course, these students of the Americorps who have been well-versed, well-trained on what to do and what to push, how to select. Because even the financial aid process, even when I'm in my PhD program, I had to apply for financial aid, and all these questions are even new to me or kind of overwhelming. Imagine our parents and our students who are graduating, but I told the parents out there, do not worry. And even them, Ms. Lopez, we have a financial aid nights, which these students and the UTRGV Americorps, they bring in more additional assistance. So we have our College Center, there's nights when we have at least 30 families who come that night, and we don't leave until the last family gets assisted. And if they can't make it that day, we have other ones. Our goal is to have these financial aid nights every other Wednesday, and we've kept them on Wednesday because it's during the middle of the week, not football and not on Monday, so it works out. But if they can't make it during that evening or that day, they could come during the school, and if the parent can come on campus and it's okay with allowing the student to get out of class, then we'll make sure we help them out. So Ms. Lopez, any family out there that are not sure what to do with the college and needs help, please stop at the College Center. The College Center, thanks to you, board members, and Mr. Vion, is there dedicated to assist our seniors to make sure that they have everything set when they graduate high school, they're ready for the next phase, which is college.
Yes,
Matter of fact, we have a parent that needed help. He's already in college. She came in today. We met with her and guided her, and and I told him, you better finish. I want a BA and maybe a master's. So we help them. We want to help the seniors and juniors, but if there's another parent in the community needs help, we're going to be there for them.
Thank you, Mr. Galvan and Mr. Salinas, appreciate it, thank you. Any more
Yes,
questions?
and as you all know, many of our students, they're first-generation college students. I remember I was the first one in my family, and I went to the college at TSTC, and I said, I want to sign up. They said, what degree plan? I said, I don't know what you're talking about, just sign me up. You know, right? And so it's important, what y'all are doing is very, very important to help change these lives for these children, and so they can be successful and achieve their dreams and their goals. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. And our goal is to make sure that they don't wait for the last minute. I always tell, and we have a plan, Mr. Galvan, we're meeting to have our calendar set for the fall semester. October 1st is when financial aid opens up. So families can start the financial aid process as early as October 1st, even though they're not going to graduate until next May. But they could start October 1st, get this very important item out of the way. Because as you all know, without financial aid, our students can't go to college. Fortunate for some of our students, they're going to get Pell Grant. And if they stay local here at TSTC or Texas Southmost College or even UTRGV, everything's paid for. And in case they need to go to the bigger schools, again, financial aid is there to help them out. And then, of course, through the assistance of scholarship that we have as well, the local scholarships and whatnot, the assistance is there, Ms. Lopez. And again, the earlier they start this process, the better. So again, we're going to have this plan. We have a calendar of events for our families to go. We have one night dedicated to just go over all these items. You know, in the evening, and last year we had our first one, we had over 120 families show up. You know, so that's one thing that they get to know the process. We even bring university reps already, so this way they could start the process and start dialoguing and talking with these representatives that perhaps they want to go to these schools. Well, they need to start applying now. They can't wait till May. Some of these schools have early deadlines. So yes, Ms. Lopez, I strongly feel that the earlier they know, the more prepared they'll be, and they'll be ready to graduate in high school and then go to college.
And just to let you all know how much of an impact you're making, when you look at the census numbers, the previous census, it was showing that in Cameron County, less than 10% of our population have a bachelor's degree. And this time around, it showed 15%, you know, so a 5% increase. And so
We even would do it in 9th grade. He would go and we would have college nights. So they're ready, and we're going to help them. Okay?
and as well, all the technical programs are just as important.
Oh, yes. Because there are students that don't want to go to a four-year institute, so we recommend and help them and guide them to do some trade or something so they can have a wonderful life. Yes.
Thank you.
And you have a good leader.
We're there all day and night, though. Yes. There's another item, right?
Yeah. You're going to ask a question? Yeah. Oh, agenda item.
Okay. Oh,
Item 2.5, review and discussion of the Americorps Interlocal Cooperation Agreement between San Benito Ciasd and the University of Texas Rio Grande. Oh, that one already did, right?
Yeah.
Never mind.
The other one.
2.6, excuse me.
Yes.
A review and discussion of the letter agreement between San Benito Ciasd and the Texas A&M Engineering Experiment Station, TEES.
Yeah, this is a program, and Alex is very familiar with it. It's about getting our kids to work with NASA. And I want to see one day one of our students on that rocket going to space. And it's an awesome program. A lot of districts have it. And it's also beneficial for us because they take care of the financial situation. Alex, tell them a little bit about it.
Absolutely. So this is the high school aerospace scholar program with Texas A&M. So the purpose is for them, this agreement is for us to participate this year. They are able to select up to 10 students, and they're targeting 11th graders. So this way they could start the program, and when they graduate high school, they'll probably be on their way to graduate and attend Texas A&M. So 10 students will be selected. They'll be able to work throughout the year, do 4 different modules, do Skype with different areas of with different programs of the NASA, Johnson Space Center, and Texas A&M instructors as well. And throughout the year, these students will also be working with professionals from those areas. And the best part is that at the end of their completion, they could get up to $1,000 of scholarship. So these students will also benefit from that. And part of that, because the funds is allocated there, which let me add, this is absolutely free as well. It's the total cost is $19,000, but they're going to give the district that money, so then we could use for travel expenses that $1,000 to pay the students. We even get to select 2 staff members who will be guiding them throughout the year, and they'll receive a stipend as well. But everything's taken care of. One thing that Mr. Ramirez did work with, actually an ex-San Benito alumni that's at Texas A&M right now, recommended San Benito High School to participate. So this will be the first year that if we decide to participate, to be part of this program. And then they're trying to increase more awareness in these students in the STEM field. So as you can see, that's the reason why NASA and A&M is involved. But if and when you all select, 10 students will be very fortunate to participate, get the scholarship, and get the awareness of what the STEM field is all about.
Can it be 20 students?
Well, I ask for a lot all the time, so we'll work it out.
just-
And a
just
lot
joke.
of neighboring districts are doing it already, so I'm glad San Benito's going to do it too. Like I tell you, I
Great
wanna
job,
see-
gentlemen.
Good job, guys, good
I
job.
want to see one of
Great
my
job.
students in a rocket, okay?
I did speak with the coordinator before we left here, and she did say if and when there's more than 10 applicants, they'll do
Okay.
whatever they can to help. Because there's some districts that may have 10, but they don't fill the spots. So I'm more than sure they'll be able to accommodate us if we have that. And we're going to do a great job, and we're going to market it. We're going to send it out to the parents so they're aware. And if they should apply, and then we'll select them. Well, they select them, and then we'll work with them throughout the year.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
Thank you.
Agenda item. Committee concerns, any committee concerns? Okay. Okay, I adjourn the meeting at 6:01 PM.